I think that we are all well aware of the opportunity and achievement gaps that are completely plaguing our country. One of the big issues has been that we have isolated those kids and sort of made judgments about what they were capable of doing, or in terms of language arts, for example, we've taken kids and done a reading assessment on them and said, you read at this particular level. And so all year long, that's what you're going to see. All of the material, your instruction is going to be at that level. And that sort of eliminated them from the opportunity to see everything else that their peers were interacting with. And you can't possibly learn to navigate and work with complex text unless you have complex text in front of you. I deeply understand the challenges that face some of our diverse learners, but it's my job to not make a decision about what they should have access to, but to have the chance to open the doors to a much greater amount of opportunity, and then be the person there supporting them as they navigate their way through, and as they have the opportunity to, I like to say, to productively struggle through some of this material. I think we've kind of gotten in the habit of saying that struggle is a bad thing, and I really don't think that it is. We are cautious and concerned to not allow our students to get to that frustrational point, so we sort of keep them in something that's a little bit more sheltered that they can handle, but I don't think that that's really proven to set them up for success.
Do we continue to leave those students behind, or do we try to close the gap? To make sure that they can access the curriculum in the same curriculum, because nobody is going to change real world situations that are going on when they leave school. So how are we preparing them for success in the long run, and what we need to do to backwards map and scaffold how they're going to get the same education, because they need the same education. That's their right. To receive that same information, even if we have to change who we are to meet them at their need.
PARCC and the standards are our generation's opportunity to really speak to equity and to make sure that underserved populations have an equal chance at success and an equal voice. They're getting the skills that they need. They're being taught the standards the same as students who may be coming in with other advantages.
I find that with Common Core, because of the design behind Common Core and how it was put together, it was universally designed so all students, no matter whether they're ELL, ESL, or regular ed students, or students who have learning difficulties, they've all been part of the big plan pushing forward through these standards that I've gone through. And I think what I liked about the special ed and the ELL component was you could teach the standard, but you could bring it down to their readability level, as long as you're focusing in on that standard. The amount of accessibility factors for regular ed students and the accommodation factors for students with IEP are tremendous compared to what we used to have. We had accommodation factors built in for students with disabilities and our ELL students. This brings technology into the picture where there's speech to text or text to speech back and forth. You could have a scribe for a child, which you were allowed to have before. You could have somebody who's actually a human reader. There's been a lot more put forward with the accessibility and the accommodations for the special ed kid that were prior. If your child is truly dyslexic, the whole test could be read to the child.